If your doctor has said your labs are normal, but you feel far from normal, fatigue, brain fog, hair loss, dry skin, dry mouth, weight gain, weight loss resistance, insomnia, migraines, PMS, PMDD, you have all the symptoms in the book, and yet no doctor has told you what's going on. You're running in circles. You barely can function day in, day out. Then this video is for you because as me, Diego Reyes, a functional health coach, functional nutritionist, I'm going to break down the invaluable testing that I'm giving to 5 women this summer promotion. Really, what this promotion is for is to help women actually understand the missing link, the testing that finally explains your symptoms, why normal labs fail, and what to run instead. I'm going to be going in depth into the functional diagnostic lab testing we do here at Complete Vitality that help you take back your complete vitality. The first thing we always run is a Dutch hormone test. There's 3 distinct tests that I'll get into here: a Dutch hormone test, a GI map, and a female fat loss panel. I will explain the Dutch hormone test, which is a dry urinary test of comprehensive hormones. This is a great test to figure out why you have PMS, why you have PMDD, why you have weight gain, why you're wired and tired, the true root cause to your infertility issues, your PCOS. It all explains that in totality. It shows me your 24-hour cortisol readings. It then shows me how well you're metabolizing hormones throughout the day. The next invaluable test is the GI map test, which is great for gastrointestinal issues such as bloating, constipation, abdominal pain. But not only that, when you have mental and emotional issues as well, emotional such as depression, anxiety, ADHD, OCD, these type of issues, that could be all linked to poor gut health, autoimmune conditions, psoriasis, Hashimoto's, rheumatoid arthritis. This will help us measure so much of what's going on inside your gut that is causing those symptoms and those conditions. It's going to look at Helicobacter pylori. It's going to look at commensal keystone bacteria. This is your beneficial bacteria. If you do not have enough, then you have low diversity, which means you're actually completely unhealthy, statistics show. It's going to show us opportunistic overgrowth of microbes. This is going to be things like things such as SIBO, small intestinal bacteria overgrowth, that's then causing your symptoms: pressure in the abdomen, constipation, bloating, even IBS and IBD labels. It's actually going to show us if you're digesting the food and supplements you're even taking, such as steacric, which is pretty much bile released from your gallbladder. It's going to show us elastase, which is your pancreatic enzymes to help digest your proteins, your carbs, and your fats. It's going to also show us your regulatory IgA, that is your immune response inside your gut. This is invaluable information because if you do not know this, it could be the true reason to why you don't feel well. And no, gastroenterologists aren't doing this at all. And the last, which is my absolute favorite, is the female fat loss panel. The female fat loss panel is an invaluable panel to finally help you feel like yourself again, too. It's going to measure your sex hormones, your estrogen, your testosterone, free and total as well, and sex hormone binding globulin. But more importantly, it's going to give us that full thyroid reading of your TSH, your T4, your T3, your thyroid peroxidase. Are you actually dealing with Hashimoto's? We're going to figure that out. We're going to find out about your insulin levels, your A1C, your fasted insulin, your cortisol levels, your lipid panel, your cardiovascular health. We're going to get the whole picture. Real answers, personalized healing, data driven strategy. See, your symptoms are not random, they're signals. Obviously, you tried everything, but let me tell you this: what worked in your 20s is not going to work in your 30s and beyond. What you were doing before, and that doesn't even mean you have to be in your 20s. People are dealing with this all the time. But as someone who's helped 500 plus women transform their life, your symptoms are the check engine lights. If you've never gotten real answers, it's because no one has actually gave you the right data of what's going on inside your body. The reason why standard labs fail you is because most conventional doctors only test require to rule out disease. That means they're not looking at if you're actually optimal. Because the thing is that you may not even be dealing with a full-blown condition, which obviously you're not optimal. You have fatigue, brain fog, weight gain, you're going up in size of the genes, you're not confident with what you see in the mirror, you have immense insecurities, self-esteem issues, because It is the internal problems that are going on bringing you down. Your gut is inflamed, your cortisol is flatlined, your hormones are imbalanced. Standard labs won't catch this, and that is a fact. And the reason why trainers, nutritionists, and doctors also fail you as well is that they mean well for sure, but they're not trained to treat symptoms and not systems. Okay, so what that means is that they're looking at just, okay, if I'm overweight, the trainer will just diagnose you with training programs in calorie cutting like you are in your 20s again. The issue is that if you also go to a nutritionist, you just get a meal plan, but no hormone testing, no gut testing, and no insight on your cortisol inflammation level. They're going to give you a one size fits all plan that has nothing to do with you specifically. And then obviously, if you go to a doctor, they're telling you it's in your head. Maybe you have a mental and emotional issue. They're going to say that you need some type of SSRI, unfortunately, or they're just going to say that it's just aging, it's just stress, it's just a part of life. They're going to say, when none of that is absolutely true. None of that is not true. So the three tests that are going to change everything is the GI map test, which is gastroenterologist microbiome assay plus. That is the exact version of it. We are going to send this test to your house. It's going to get shipped to your house out there wherever you're located here in the United States, and you'll be able to do it at the comfort of your own home. You then will also receive a Dutch hormone test, which is a dried urinary test of comprehensive hormones. It's going to measure all types of sex hormones, the estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, your testosterone, DHEA, sulfate, everything that maybe you don't have a clue of what it is, but everything that's the exact reason why you're inflamed, exhausted, tired, bloated, and fatigued. And then the female fat loss panel is going to give me a full thyroid reading telling me, are you actually dealing with hypothyroidism, Hashimoto's, and so much more with your insulin levels, your cardio metabolic health, looking at your lipid panels, which is just a life-saving panel as well. So if you feel it, we can find it, obviously. Your bloating, gas, constipation, we can use a GI map test that reveals the root cause. Cortisol crash, poor thyroid function, sluggish detox. The Dutch test plus the female fat loss panel will tell us that, because that is coming from the fatigue, brain fog, and energy crashes. If you have PMS, mood swings, and heavy periods, we can use the Dutch test to figure out the root cause, which could be estrogen dominance, low progesterone. Weight gain, plateau despite eating clean. Root causes could be insulin resistance and low T3 levels, basically hypothyroidism, but you never know unless you're testing, not just guessing. So we can use the female fat loss panel for that. Hair loss, oily skin, hormonal acne. I'm telling you, we solve all the issues day in and day out. I don't really want to persuade here. I just want to educate, inform, and empower you to understand there is a why and you can heal. And I promise you that on my life. I have devoted my entire life and my work to this. Ashley had came to me struggling. She just found me online. Her friend actually got some amazing results. And in our time together, which was about 4 months thus far in today's date, she has completely transformed their life from the inside out. I mean, nonstop testimonials, nonstop referrals. She has telling everyone because they deserve to feel this well. 25 pounds down off 10 years of levothyroxine medication. We started out with running the GI map test. She had H. pylori, low pancreatic enzymes, significant dysbiosis, meaning like small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. We ran a Dutch test, and then we ran a female fat loss panel. We personalized her plan to her. Look at that, 25 pounds down to today's date. But the real cost of knowing is actually costing you more, though. I mean, you're spending a bunch of money on wellness supplements, different types of detoxes, teas, whatever. I mean, trainers that aren't getting to the root cause. You're spending years on cookie cutter diets that just actually make your metabolism worse, your hormones worse. Your appointments leave you more confused than actually found. The nights you cried because you did everything right and still feel broken, the less intimacy you have with your significant other. But really, the disconnect you might feel with trying to be the mother, the wife that you truly want to be for your kids wholeheartedly. And all of it is you haven't got anything for the answers. See, your body was built to heal once you give it the right information. These labs don't just tell us what's wrong, they tell us what to do, what to eat, what to avoid, what to support, what to correct. And it's not just about the testing, it's about the full supportive plan you have with me. What you could have with me. The right eating, training, guidance, consistency, a plan, structure, accountability above all. So you're not just doing random things anymore. No more guesswork, no more wasted effort. Things that are going straight to your doorstep to be able to do at your house, understanding it all. Why this testing helps symptoms you've been ignoring: energy and fatigue, GI map test, Dutch test, weight gain, metabolic resistance, bloating, constipation. It tells us it all. Now, I don't want to get into this. I've already exploded how much time I've already wanted to spend on this. But obviously, this approach isn't just for generic complaint, it's for deep, unresolved conditions that most conventional systems only manage. Here's what we address at the root: Hashimoto's hypothyroidism, PCOS, IBS, IBD, adrenal fatigue, HPA dysfunction, estrogen dominance, insulin resistance, prediabetes, autoimmunity, infertility, irregular cycles. We have 500 plus success stories. Me, Diego Reyes, has 500 plus success stories. I am at the point where I have so many success stories. I am talking about a plethora of them, of women that struggled with everything I'm telling you. These systems, men, women, Hashimoto's, Blake, Ashley, there's Ashley, 25 pounds down. Her husband, Blake, down 50 pounds. There she is again. There's her husband. There's Sarah, reversing her Hashimoto's. There's Taryn, reversing her Hashimoto's. There's Evelyn, losing stubborn belly fat, rebalancing out her hormones, finally becoming tight, toned, and confident. Here's another business owner, acid reflux, omeprazole, chronic migraines for years, chronic migraines. She finally resolved them. Finally resolved them. We are getting transformations like no other. No other transformations. So if you're interested in this testing, you want to get to the root cause, you want to finally feel like yourself, I'm giving you this test for free. For the next 5 women, I'm giving you all these tests for free. So if you want this, you want any of these tests, then message me down below of this video, and I'll send you more info.